Describe a time when you had a problem with using the computer. This is a pretty hard topic, but we're going to talk about when it happened, where it happened, what the problem was, and explain how you solved the problem at last. So the thing about this topic is that you don't need to focus too much on the problem itself. Rather, you should put more time into explaining how you solved the problem, which is not as hard as you might think. But anyways, the time that I want to talk about happened about 2 weeks ago while I was in my office playing one of my all-time favorite games, The Sims 4. This is a pretty big game, so it's quite demanding on the computer. And I think that's what caused the problem. And the problem was that all of a sudden the computer completely froze and nothing was moving. And there was really nothing I could do to have it work again. And in terms of how I solved the problem at last, well, it was actually quite a lengthy process. At the very beginning, obviously I was in like a panic mode, so I started panic clicking everything and trying to, wake up the computer or something like that. But obviously that didn't work, and I would assume that that actually made the lag even worse. So seeing that didn't work, I've decided to calm myself down and give the computer some time. I figured maybe the computer would work itself out and start to work all of a sudden, but that didn't happen either. Spoiler alert. But anyways, while I was waiting for the computer to solve itself out, I also looked up some information online to see if people have any good fix to this problem. And people said that in these type of laggy situation, you just need to restart your computer. And that's what I did eventually. After like a 10-minute wait, I finally lost all my patience and I reboot the computer. Fortunately, after the reboot, the computer went normal again and everything started working as usual. So it was quite a big relief for me. I didn't completely broke my computer and it wasn't like a permanent damage or anything like that. However, I was still a little bit upset because I lost all my gaming progress. And also I didn't really expect my computer to act out like this. It was quite unexpected. So I guess in the future, I would save my game as it goes. And also I probably wouldn't put such a big strain on my computer and play less aggressive and demanding games. So, yeah.
Well, my computer had a major breakdown last year. It was during the final week of the semester, and I was reviewing all my subjects and preparing for the final exams. And one morning, I went to the library and turned on my laptop as usual. I viewed several websites and suddenly the screen went blue. And I was shocked because it never happened before. I tried to get rid of the blue screen, but nothing worked. So I had to, unplug my laptop and just turn it off completely. And I thought it must work. So I waited for a few minutes and then turned it on. But unfortunately, all I could see was still the blue screen. So I got a little bit scared and I asked my friend for help. She told me that maybe I could check it online first. So I Googled this problem on my phone and applied some of the tips to my computer. But sadly, still no miracles. So I started to get really worried because there were so many materials on my laptop which I needed for reviewing my subjects. Then my friend came to help me. She suggested that we should maybe send the laptop to the repair shop first. So we went there together, and the staff there said they would try their best to make it work. Then we came back and my friend shared her notes and materials and everything with me, and I put myself together and tried to focus on study again. Finally, my laptop was ready and I went to pick it up, and the staff in the repair shop said they were not sure whether it was a virus or it was just simply because of the outdated system. But anyway, half of my files and materials were gone. So I bought a new computer after that immediately, and I hope that will never happen again.
Answering this one, I still vividly remember when our computer crashed while I was writing my final essay at the end of last semester. I was engrossed in it because I had never had so many ideas before, and I felt like they were literally flowing like a river. And I kept writing it for the whole afternoon without even realizing that I hadn't clicked the save button in the Word document for once. And it was exactly at that point that my computer crashed. It was like the screen went blue, and on the arrow page it said there is a system issue, and then it shut down. I tried several times restarting it, but it just didn't work. And it literally drove me nuts because I've stored almost all my study materials in it, and my final exams were 2 days away. So I decided instantly to bring it back to the store where I got the computer and to see if I can find someone on the hook for repairing it for me. And I was lucky because the repairman in that store turned out to be a real computer savvy, and he got it fixed for me within half an hour. So I would say I was quite satisfied with the post-sale service. But after that incident, I just decided to never buy a computer from that brand anymore, because I feel like it's generally overrated and overpriced. Like the computer that I got was sold at a high price, but I feel like its quality doesn't live up to my expectations. It crashes so often, even though it's still new and I hasn't used much of its memory.
Describe a time you had a problem with using the computer. Alright, so I'm going to tell you about a time that my computer just broke down for no reason. Well, that's truly an awful experience. Well, at that time, I was in my study and I've been working hard on a project for several hours. So everything was going smoothly, but suddenly, my computer screen just went blank and it totally froze. I didn't know what's going on there, but I was so startled and frustrated, well, because I hadn't saved my work in a while, and I was so afraid of losing all the progress I had made. So the problem seemed to be a technical issue with the operating system. So I tried to restart the system, but it wouldn't boot up properly. So I was really frustrated because I had spent like so much time and effort on it. So to solve this problem, I decided to seek help from a friend who's kind of a computer genius. So I called him and I explained the situation. Well, he told me to take a deep breath and calm down. Then he advised me to unplug my computer from the power source. Then he suggested reconnecting everything and trying to boot up again. So following his instructions, I performed the steps, and I was so relieved to see my computer screen come back to life again. So the problem was solved. Well, that's really like a stressful experience, and hopefully, this kind of thing won't happen again.